世界各地的朋友们，大家早上好。
Good morning to all respected masters and friends from around the globe.
欢迎大家前来参加2017年世界万姓先祖祭祖大典。
A sincere welcome to everyone who is attending today's ancestral remembrance ceremony.
今天在这里，我们代表世界各族后代，全心全意地举办本次祭祖大典。
Today, we are wholeheartedly holding the ceremony on behalf of all descendants around the world.
现在，请您看看您的电话关好没有？谢谢大家的合作。
Can everyone now please ensure all mobile phones has been switched off? Thank you for your cooperation.
大家好，祭祖大典马上就要开始了。在大典开始之前，首先给大家介绍一下祭祖典礼仪规。
The ceremony will begin shortly. Can everyone please kindly act in accordance with the following regulations?
祭祖典礼开始后，敬请不要走动，请不要拍照，请不要从中间红地毯横过穿堂。
Once the ceremony has begun, please do not leave your seats. Please be advised that photography is prohibited. Please also understand that walking across the red carpet is deemed disrespectful.
请依祭典之引礼口令起立和鞠躬。请大家先记住两个关键词：全体肃立和鞠躬。大众只需要在被要求起立后，才根据指示鞠躬。其余时间请保持观礼。每次鞠躬引礼会喊2次。喊第2次后才鞠躬。
Please be alert for prompts of when to stand and bow. For every bow, there will be 2 prompts called out. Please bow on the second.
好，下面请大家静候典礼的开始。让我们以热烈的掌声欢迎尊敬的净空老教授、大使及嘉宾进场。
Let us offer a warm welcome to Venerable Master Ching Kong and UNESCO ambassadors, followed by our distinguished guests.
上香了，上香我们就躲远点。
好，谢谢大家，大众请坐。 现在，恭请尊敬的净空老教授上香。感恩净空老教授的到来。现在有请澳洲原住民长老致辞，以及表演原住民舞蹈。
In respect to the original custodians of this land, an indigenous elder, Uncle Debbie, will give a welcome acknowledgement, and the Aboriginal dance group will perform an Aboriginal dance. Welcome.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This place, to see this today, is so exciting for me. I have been coming to this place as a prison since the 60s. And to see this, that the UNESCO and the team have done, is so good. And it does my heart proud to see it as it is, because it did have a terrible, shocking history, this place, and it's so good. Ladies and gentlemen, to see all my friends from the Toowoomba community acknowledge the place as it is, it's so heartening for me. My role is to acknowledge the Gaiba and Jarowair people that are carers of this country, and I do that with a lot of pleasure, and because of the walk that I've had with this place and the memories, I used to bring mothers and fathers up here, and to see it now, it's so good to see you here. And ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Gaiba and Jarowair people, welcome to Westbrook, and I hope that we have a really, really good day, and I'm sure we will. Thank you for inviting me along, ladies and gentlemen. Okay?
阿弥陀佛。
Thank you.
感恩我们澳洲原住民同胞为我们的祭祖大典祈福祈祷。
Thank you to Uncle Debbie and the performers for their well wishes.
现在有请图文巴市长保罗·安东尼奥先生致辞。
Now, please welcome Councillor Paul Antonio, Mayor of Toowoomba Region, to the stage to give us an address.
Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great honour for me as Mayor of the Toowoomba Regional Council to have the opportunity of just saying a few words. Could I particularly welcome and recognise the Venerable Master Chin Kung, AM, President and Founder of Pure Land Learning College Association, and thank him very much for his involvement in this community and the goodwill that he has brought to this community. It is an enormous honour, ladies and gentlemen, also to have the UNESCO ambassadors here today, particularly at this place. And I think my good friend Uncle Darby has clearly indicated some of the history of this place, and it's so very refreshing to me to see that there's been such an enormous change. Can I recognise the members of the Toowoomba Interfaith Working Group, the Goodwill Committee of Toowoomba, and a particular welcome to the Vice-Chancellor of the Oxford University, Nick Rawlins, and thank you very much for coming to On behalf of my colleagues and the broader community, I am honoured to be here today and participate as Principal Officer in the Ancestral Remembrance Service. By remembering our rich traditions and stories from our traditional owners, the early settlers of this area, the farmers and the families who have migrated here from around the world, we foster a sense of social cohesion and peace and harmony in our community. Today's Ancestral Remembrance Ceremony offers an opportunity to admire traditional Chinese culture and appreciate the beauty, the goodness, the truthfulness and the wisdom of this ceremony. Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, for being here. This place, this very place, as Uncle Darby so rightly put it, has had a very interesting history, and not a good history. But can I say that the change we're seeing here today, the change we will see in the future, is very much in keeping with our vision to make the Toowoomba region a region of peace and harmony. Thank you very much, and I'm very honoured and moved to be part of this ceremony.
感恩市长安东尼奥先生精彩的致辞以及对本次典礼的支持。
Thank you, Mayor Antonio, for his insightful words and support for today's event.
现在有请马达加斯加大使托奇先生致辞。
Please let us welcome His Excellency Mr. Ni Toki, Deputy Permanent Delegate of Madagascar, to the stage.
Général Master Chinkong, Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs les ambassadeurs, chers amis, chers collègues, Amitofo, avant de commencer, j'aimerais savoir si la traduction va se faire parce que je vais parler en anglais. I would like if the translation is right? If everyone can understand what I would talk about, because I will give my speech in French. Good? Okay. Vénérables, Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs les ambassadeurs, chers collègues et amis, c'est un grand privilège pour moi de m'exprimer aujourd'hui et ainsi vous donner des éléments d'information concernant un volet essentiel de la culture malgache touchant le respect des ancêtres. Mais avant toute chose, j'aimerais réitérer mes plus vifs remerciements au vénérable Master Ching Kong de nous avoir invités, ma femme et moi-même, à prendre part à ce voyage extraordinaire et voir ainsi de visu les résultats de la mise en œuvre de ces enseignements ici à Toowoomba. Vénérables Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs, dans la conception malgache, la mort n'est pas la fin de la vie. La mort n'est qu'un passage pour une autre vie que nous appelons l'au-delà. Quand un roi ou un noble meurt, on ne dit pas qu'il est mort, on dit qu'il s'est retourné. Oui, en effet, il tourne le dos à la vie terrestre et fait face dorénavant à l'autre vie au-delà du visible. La mort ne fait alors que changer de statut du défunt dans la hiérarchie de la communauté malgache où chacun a son rôle à jouer. Nous avons l'adage qui dit « Si un enfant ne joue pas, qu'il devienne jeune. Si un jeune ne fait pas la fête, qu'il devienne un vieux. Et si le vieux ne transmet pas son savoir, qu'il devienne ancêtre. Et si l'ancêtre ne veille pas sur les vivants, qu'il se réveille et laboure la terre. » Chaque individu dans la société malgache a donc son rôle à jouer, y compris les ancêtres dont la mission est de veiller sur les vivants et de faire office d'intermédiaire entre les vivants et le Dieu, l'unique, le créateur du ciel et de la terre. Pour cette mission spécifique, à part le fait que les ancêtres sont regroupés dans le tombeau, ils ont aussi leur place dans les habitations. Dans les familles traditionnelles malgaches, le plus beau coin du salon est dédié aux ancêtres, on appelle ça Zulfularazan, et c'est l'endroit le plus respecté de la maison. Chaque fois, par exemple, qu'on entame une bouteille d'alcool fort, on y verse quelques gouttes en guise de partage et de remerciement aux ancêtres. La plupart du temps, on y met aussi de pots de miel ou des bonbons. Le rituel le plus spectaculaire montrant le lien très fort qui unit le malgache avec ses ancêtres est le famadir ou le retournement des morts. Ceci consiste à faire une grande fête à côté du tombeau familial à l'occasion du renouvellement du linceul d'un ou plusieurs proches décédés. C'est alors l'occasion pour les membres de la grande famille de se retrouver et de faire connaissance avec les éléments de son arbre généalogique. Vu les dépenses engagées lors de ces événements, le Famadienne se prépare pendant des années et se renouvelle généralement tous les 5 ou 7 ans. L'arbre généalogique a aussi une place capitale lors de la demande en mariage. L'orateur du demandeur, lors d'une joute oratoire appelée kabar, doit citer les noms exacts des ancêtres du garçon ainsi que de la fille demandée en mariage, pour situer exactement l'importance et la place de ses ancêtres dans la constitution de la nouvelle famille. Généralement, on remonte jusqu'à la 3e génération pour ne pas prendre trop de temps. Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs, honore ton Père et ta Mère comme l'Éternel ton Dieu te l'a ordonné, afin que tes jours se prolongent et que tu sois heureux dans le pays que l'Éternel ton Dieu te donne. Dans la conception algache, ce commandement écrit dans la Bible, Deutéronome 5,16, est le texte fondamental qui régit le respect que nous devons aux anciens, passés, présents et futurs. En effet, les enfants doivent reconnaître les efforts et sacrifices faits par les parents et doivent ainsi les honorer. Les parents en question incluent aussi les ancêtres qui sont déjà décédés. Il convient de signaler que honorer ses parents en chérissant leur mémoire et suivre leurs enseignements ne fait pas d'eux des objets de culte ou de religion. Honorer ses parents est le début d'une vie heureuse, stable et en paix. Honorer ses parents veut dire faire de son mieux pour accepter et respecter la totalité des patrimoines que les ancêtres nous ont légués. Ceci concerne non seulement les biens matériels ou les enseignements qu'ils nous ont prodigués, mais aussi le patrimoine génétique qu'ils nous ont légué. Chaque cellule de notre corps fait référence directement à nos ancêtres, à nos parents, par nos ADN, que nous ne pouvons pas changer. Honorer ses parents équivaut aussi alors à se respecter et à être en paix avec soi-même. Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs, l'acte de commémoration des ancêtres et de tous les bienfaits que nous allons effectuer aujourd'hui contribue à rétablir notre paix intérieure. Cette paix intérieure sera notre force pour créer et partager la paix autour de nous et vivre ainsi dans une société harmonieuse. Pour conclure, et pour vous donner un aperçu de la façon comment nous honorons nos anciens. Avec ma femme, nous allons vous chanter une chanson qui dit ceci. Il y a un amour précieux qu'on ne peut changer ou vendre. Il y a un amour précieux qui est profondément ancré dans nos cœurs. C'est l'amour de nos ancêtres et de la terre qu'ils nous ont léguée. I will demand my wife to come with me to sing a song about the love.
Good morning, Your Excellencies, fellow ambassadors, Venerable Master Ching Kung, Mayor Mr. Paul Antonio, and fellow distinguished guests. It is a great privilege for me to be able to express myself today and to give you information on an essential aspect of the Malagasy culture in the way we respect ancestors. First and foremost, I would like to reiterate my deepest gratitude to the Venerable Master Ching Kung for inviting me and my wife to take part in this extraordinary journey and to see firsthand the results of the implementation of his teaching in Toowoomba. Venerables, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, in the Malagasy culture, death is not the end of life. Death is just a passage for another life that we call beyond. When the king or the noble dies, he is not said to have died. It is said that he turned. Yes, indeed. He turns his back on earthly life and now faces the other life beyond the visible. Death then only changes the status of the deceased in the hierarchy of the Malagasy community, where everyone has a role to play. We have the following saying: if a child does not play, let him become a youth. If the young person does not celebrate, then he becomes an old man. If the old man does not transmit his knowledge, then he becomes an ancestor. And if the ancestor does not watch over the living, he wakes up and plows the earth. Every individual in the society has its roles to play, including ancestors whose mission is to watch over the living and to act as intermediaries between the living and God, the sole creator of heaven and earth. For this specific mission, apart from the fact that the ancestors are grouped into the tomb, they also have their places in the dwellings. In traditional families, the most beautiful corner of the living room is dedicated to the ancestors. And it is the most respected place of the house. Odor of strong alcohol, for example. You pour a few drops as if you're sharing and thanking the ancestors. Most of the time, you put it in a jar of honey or candy. The most spectacular ritual showing the strong bond that unites the Malagasy with its ancestors is the Famadihana, or turning the dead. This consists of making a great feast next to the family tomb on the occasion of the renewal of the shroud of one or several deceased relatives. This is an example for the members of the large family to meet and to know the elements of the family tree. Given the expenses incurred, this event is being prepared for years and is usually renewed every 5 or 7 years. The genealogical tree also has a prominent place in the application for marriage. The speaker of the applicant in an oratorical joist called kabari must cite the exact names of the ancestors of the boy to be married and of the girl asked for. That signifies exactly the importance and place of the ancestors in the constitution of the new family. Generally, we go back to the 3rd generation so as not to take far too long. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, honor your father and your mother, as the Lord your God has commanded you, so that you may live long and that it may go well with you in the land the Lord your God is giving you. In the Malagasy culture, this commandment written in the Bible is the fundamental text that governs the respect we owe to the past and present, and the future. Indeed, children must recognize the efforts and sacrifices made by parents, and must therefore honor them. The parents in question also include the ancestors. It is worth pointing out that honoring one's parents by cherishing their memory and following the teachings does not make them objects of worship or religion. Honoring one's parents is the beginning of a happy, stable, and peaceful life. To honor her parents also means to do her best to accept and respect all the hereditary patrimonies that the ancestors bequeathed to us. This concerns not only the material goods or teaching they have given us, but also the generic heritage they left for us. Every cell in our body refers directly to our parents and ancestors through our DNA that we cannot change. Honoring one's parents is also tantamount to respecting oneself and being at peace with. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, to conclude and to give you an overview of how we honor our elders, we will sing you a song that says this: there is a very precious love that one cannot change or sell, because deeply anchored in our hearts, it is the love of our ancestors and the land they bequeathed us. Thank you for your attention. Thank you. Amen.
师父。
感恩马达加斯加大使波奇先生的致辞，以及大使夫妇精彩的演唱。
Thank you to His Excellency Mr. Nitoki for sharing his thoughts with us today.
现在，恭请净空老教授讲解大国和谐，带动小国幸福。
Please welcome the Venerable Master Ching Kong, President and founder of the Pure Land Learning College Association, who will give us a speech on harmony among powerful countries, fostering the happiness of the less powerful countries.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to everyone participating in this deeply meaningful ancestral remembrance ceremony. This is the first time that such an event has been hosted in Australia. All participants are memorializing their ancestors in gratitude for their contributions to society. At the same time, we also memorialize the ancestors of all ethnic groups around the world and express our deepest respect for them. In August 2015, Vice Chancellor Hughes of the University of Wales visited Hong Kong to participate in an ancestral remembrance ceremony. He was very moved by the solemnity of the ceremony and the sincerity and respect shown by the participants. He asked if it was possible to hold a ceremony in the UK. I agreed. So, in June and July of last year, we hosted 3 ceremonies in London and Wales, commemorating the ancestors of all ethnic groups around the world. In 2 of the ceremonies, Vice Chancellor Hughes assumed the role of the principal officer. Vice Chancellor Hughes is thus the first Westerner to assume this leading role in a Chinese ancestral remembrance ceremony, symbolizing a new climate for mutual learning due to Eastern and Western cultural dialogues. This is a positive start to bringing the world together as one family and deserved celebration. In today's ceremony, Mayor Antonio will be assuming the role of the principal officer, and several distinguished guests will act as the assistant officers. This will also turn a new page in the history of world cultural dialogue. Let all see that people from different cultures and different faiths can come together in unity. This will also bring a ray of positive energy to world peace. Why are we holding this ceremony? To commemorate the virtues of our ancestors and promote filial piety. We need to commemorate the contributions of our ancestors, learn from and follow their virtuous conduct, and repay the kindness they have shown us. If we can think of and not forget our ancestors who lived thousands of years before us, how could we possibly not love and respect our parents of this lifetime? That is why the Analects, which can be said to be the Chinese Bible, states, "They are few who, being filial and fraternal, are fond of offending their superiors. There have been none who, not intending to offend their superiors, have liked stirring up acrimony." The virtuous person focuses on the foundation. When the foundation has been established, the way will arise. Filial piety and fraternal love are the root of all benevolent actions. Filial piety is paying respect to and serving one's parents, which includes commemorating one's ancestors. Fraternity is the extension of filial piety. It means respecting one's elders and teachers and loving one's brothers and sisters. Filial piety and fraternity, or filial respect, are the root of being a good person. Also, they are the foundation of a peaceful society. The ancestral remembrance ceremony is the embodiment of filial respect. As the Analect states, show reverence for one's parents by carefully arranging the funeral rites and by sincerely remembering ancestors. Having done so, the virtue of the people will resume. As such, the meaning behind the ceremony is profound, relating to whether the human will is pure or impure, and whether society is good or bad. Such events are worthy of enthusiastic promotion. Moreover, the ceremonies are a form of rites and music education. Rites represent the natural order and regulate human behavior. They tell us how humans should interact with other humans, with nature, and with the universe. Music represents harmony between heaven and earth. Elegant music can temper humans' 7 emotions and 5 desires. The 5 desires are greed for wealth, sex, fame, food, and sleep. The 7 emotions of pleasure, anger, sorrow, joy, love, hate, and desire all arise from the 5 desires. The purpose of music is to control the 7 emotions and 5 desires so that they do not exceed propriety and do not become excessive. Music allows people to understand how to discipline and limit their words and actions. Through improving oneself, one attains the ideal state of virtue. Rites and music education not only help improve each person's moral character, they also create a good social environment. They emphasize that peace is most precious, in the hope that each person will be comfortable with their duties and with their proper place, and will therefore attain cultural self-awakening. Rites and music education is a key component of Chinese culture. Having enabled the ancient Chinese civilization to survive several thousand years, giving China the enviable reputation of the nation of rites and music. The nation of rites and music It is the ideal nation conceived by the sages and virtuous people. Regardless of one's gender, age, status, or wealth, everyone yields to others and avoids contention. Contention means striving to gain, to keep everything for oneself, and to not give way to others. This will definitely amount to no good. The dual commentary on the spring and autumn annals states, all who have blood and breath have a disposition to quarrel with one another. This illustrates that competition and fighting are the causes of mankind's bad habits. In order to prevent these evil causes from generating effects, the ancient saints and sages promoted graciously yielding to remedy contention. This is not contending. It is always putting others ahead of oneself. The Chinese forefathers in Discourses of the States told us, to not yield is to abandon virtue. In other words, without altruism in our yielding, our virtue will decline. This will lead to fights, plundering, and invasion. Such animal-like actions will end in mutual annihilation. Therefore, we need to remove the word contention from our dictionaries. No competition, no conflicts, no war. We ought to yield, to exercise forbearance and self-restraint, to modestly decline, to give precedence to others out of courtesy, to yield from beginning to end. These are the astute teachings of China's forefathers. The dual commentary states, yielding is the core of rights, and humble concession is the foundation of virtue. That is to say, yielding is the aim of rule by rights. Humility and giving precedence to others out of courtesy are the basis of virtue. People know the importance of virtue, but often overlook the key role that yielding plays into moral development. A Chinese proverb says it best, enduring for a moment, you will find the winds and waves become calm. Take one step back, and you will see that the sea is boundless and the sky is vast. Yielding is an effective method of resolving competition, conflict, and war. Not only can it reconcile relations between humans, it can also improve relations between countries, thus bringing about a world of universal harmony, where everyone is treated equally and gets along in peace and unity. The ancestral remembrance ceremony allows people to always bear in mind their ancestors' teachings, yielding in all thoughts, not contending, and thinking of the happiness and benefit of all beings. We are all inhabitants of one earth. We are one family. We are one entity. Today's ceremony is an outstanding example of this. The Earth's inhabitants ought to care for each other, bringing each other's lives to new heights of happiness and fulfillment. We hope that the world's powerful countries will safeguard world peace. If powerful countries can coexist in peace, there will be peace on Earth. If they cannot, disasters will besiege our world. If powerful countries use their militaries to safeguard world peace, less powerful countries would not need to have their own militaries, nor do they need to spend money on weapons. They could, instead, use the money saved to benefit their people in 3 ways. 1. Free education. Education, food, and lodging ought to be provided free of charge from kindergarten through graduate school. 2. Free health care. Medical care, food, and lodging ought to be free during hospitalization. 3. Free aged care. Instead of being called old age homes, we would call these facilities elders' paradises. Not only would seniors have no concerns about their material lives, their mental well-being would also be ensured, and they would enjoy entertainment and leisure activities in their later years. So that is why we hope for powerful countries to foster the happiness of those that are less powerful so all can live in harmony as one family. The Earth's resources belong to everyone. When minerals are discovered, countries should not dispatch armed forces to claim them. Claiming them is barbaric conduct and should be avoided at all costs. After the minerals are extracted, the profits should be divided according to the size of populations. It is fair that all the world's resources be divided up in this way. There is nothing more to say on this. We hope that religions can come together in harmony, return to education, and learn from each other. Let all ethical, moral, causality, and sages' teachings in religious texts be carried into the future. At the same time, we ought to put into practice the core values of all religions, compassion and universal love. This means every religious leader and every religious adherent needs to represent God and Allah to love all beings, putting into practice unbiased and unconditional love. Let everyone know that religion is indispensable to humankind's spiritual education. Religion will not harm people, it will save them. We want to help foster lasting world peace, bringing happiness to each individual, creating family harmony, career success, societal stability and harmony, national prosperity and strength, and world peace. There will thus be only mutual aid and cooperation, no conflicts, no war. The annals of Master Yan states, those who dispute cannot overcome misfortune. Those who are humble and yielding will not lose their good fortune. This tells us if we choose conflict and war, humans will suffer from never-ending disasters. If we choose to be humble and yield to others, abandoning war, humans will enjoy boundless good fortune and joy. Good fortune or misfortune, the choice is ours. We need to have a model in order to attain the ideal world of universal harmony. Toowoomba is becoming such a model. We need to continue to strive, starting with ourselves. We need to yield to others and avoid contention, establishing Toowoomba as heaven on earth. We welcome all peace-loving people to migrate to Toowoomba. Lastly, I hope everyone can give rise to loving kindness, become sages, relieve pain and suffering, be healthy in body and mind, and experience constant auspiciousness. Thank you, everyone.
感恩净空老教授的讲授。
Our sincerest gratitude to the Venerable Master Ching Kong.
现在我们一起来聆听一首颂歌，有请净宗学院义工演唱《皇帝颂》。
We will now listen to the ode to the Yellow Emperor, performed by Pure Land Learning College.
谢净宗学院义工的精彩演出。
Thank you to the wonderful performance.
祭祖典礼即将开始，请场内所有人保持手机关闭，不可拍照，保持肃静，端身正义，静待祭祖大典开始。
The ancestral remembrance ceremony is about to begin. Can everyone please ensure all mobile phones has been switched off and no photo taking is allowed? Can everyone please be seated and patiently wait for the ceremony to begin?
典礼将于5分钟后开始，请祭官、礼生、赞生、乐生准备排班。
The ceremony will begin in 5 minutes. Please can the relevant teams get ready and resume their roles.